What's hurting the most on you?
My ankles.
Really?
Yeah, they're worse now than my knees. The wraps around my knees helped.
You gonna tape them at next time, you think? Or if you do this again?
I won't do this run again. I have no desire to do those trails again. That is just dumb.
Really?
Yeah. All right, we got 17 minutes until the start. Got my tracker. I'm ready to go. Hopefully it goes well. Some 20 milers coming in that went out this morning at 7:30. All right, you guys, we're gonna do a little pre-race oath, and we're gonna start with the national anthem. You guys ready?
Third verse. Hold us be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-favored land praise the power that has made and preserved us a nation. And triumph we must when our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God we do trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner forever shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The dog approved. All right, thank you so much, Phil. How many times have you done Bigfoot, Phil?
This is 8th start, 7th, hopefully 7th finish.
Nice. Start, hopefully, or sorry,
Yeah,
8th start,
hopefully
hopefully 7th
7th
finish.
finish.
Nice. All right, good luck. Thank you so much. Repeat after me. If I get lost, hurt, or die, it's my own damn fault. All right, you guys are good to go.
Hard and high five from Bigfoot. We headed out into the unknown. Down through the trees and into the blast zone. We ran through rocks and sand. The base of Mount St. Helens was a truly strange and rocky land.
Okay, we are 21.29 miles into Bigfoot. I have officially already had a low point. I am missing my husband. Something fierce. But just keep reminding myself that I just gotta move and I will get to him. So we're just gonna keep going. Otherwise I feel good. It's beautiful. The sun's getting ready to set. Oh wow, look at this. I'll show you this. Look at that lake. This is literally just the most beautiful area to run in. Sun's setting over there. But yeah, amazing. I am loving it and hating it. This race is definitely a love-hate thing for me. It's as hard as I've been trying to complete it for so many years. We're making it though. I gotta stop crying. I can't waste these fluids. Okay, well, I'm gonna put you away. It's getting kind of rocky and I don't want to trip. And I know this is super bouncy. I'm sorry, I'm just using my phone. Okay, I'll give you one last view. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, I'll see you soon. Okay, I forgot to mention, so 21-ish or so miles, 8 hours in. So we've been at this 8 hours now, and the sun is just starting to set. Okay, it's pretty dark. We are, sorry, I gotta adjust this so I don't drop my phone. We are headed to road 9327. It just got dark. It's a bit darker in the woods. If I was out in the open, it'd still be just a little bit light, but so it's gotta be 9, right around 9. I'm doing pretty good. Met up with a couple guys during just as it was getting dark, going through from Blue Lake to Coldwater. Oh gosh, a mountain toad. Mountain toad, come back. I want to video you. Come back, I want to video you. Oh, I won't hurt you, I promise. Mountain toad. I love mountain toads. Okay, there you go, buddy. That's all I wanted. Thank you. Guy's like, she's molesting me. Honest, I won't. I love toads. That's the second one we've seen. Anyways, so yeah, I met up with them as it was getting dark. Gosh, we got lost, turned around, floundering around trying to find the trail. 4 of us, we finally found it. And then I started going with walking with Adam from Michigan, 257, and Scott from Australia, 17. 2 really nice guys. We had the same pace. They were probably a little faster than me uphill, and I was in the very back, so it was nice because it encouraged me to move a little faster. But if I started to get too much, I could back off and not have to feel pressured because nobody was behind me. And they were so nice. They slowed down for me. I told them they didn't have to slow down for me, but they were kind enough to do that. And so we did that whole night section, and then we left Coldwater Lake. Oh, it was awesome. I think we left at like 2 in the morning or something. It was crazy early. Earliest I've ever left there. And we started the climb out to the Mount Margaret backcountry, and we made it up the horrible climb before it got all the way light. It was the sun was just rising. I'm not sure if I got a picture. I think I might have. But that was awesome. And then we finished out that section, which sucked, of course. Telling the guys, because they've never done it before, they're both the first time out there, and this is my 3rd time doing this section. And so I know it fairly well now. And so I'm telling them what's coming. And I'm like, oh yeah, you know, it's a super steep climb. And then we've got like this super rocky area. And then you've got to do the Mount Margaret out and back, which is horrible. Telling him all this bad stuff about the race, and I'm like, maybe I should tell him something good. And so I'm thinking, and I'm like, there's like a slightly runnable section on the way into Norway Pass. I was like, that's really all I got for you guys. Like it kind of just gets worse from here. And so I felt kind of bad about that, but what can you do, man? It's a tough course. And so we hiked together, sun came up, and we came around this one section, and Scott decided to sit down with, I think it was Bruce, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, he decided to sit on the side of the trail and take a break for a minute. Me and Adam kept going. I was in the lead, and I happened to go around this kind of corner, and I look up, and up on this like slope, there's this giant black bear, probably the biggest black bear I've ever seen, and it was also running the fastest I've ever seen a bear run in my life. He was running downhill so fast, and I was like, show off. And so I come running back around the corner, and I'm like, Adam, bear, bear, bear. And he looks up and sees it, and he looks at me and he goes, it's running right towards Scott. And I'm like, it is. And I'm like, oh, I hope he's okay. He's just kind of laying on the trail. This bear is going to come running over the top of him. And come to find out, the bear did cross the trail in front of him. We talked to him later, and he said he saw it ran in front of him. Coming into Norway Pass, actually started coming into Coldwater Lake. Something's going on with my tendon on the top of my foot. I don't know what. Jurian said, the medic said probably tendonitis, I think. I can't remember. But he taped it, and it feels like $1,000,000 right now. It doesn't hurt at all, and it was hurting so badly. So I got to switch arms. it was hurting so badly that I could hardly walk. I couldn't do downhill or flat. It was hurting so bad. I could do uphill, but I can only do uphill so fast because I'm just not fast climbing. I start to sweat like a crazy person. It's super hot. And I've been doing really good staying on top of my electrolytes because the first day was only 80 degrees and we started at noon. So we didn't have to do that whole horrible exposed section in the hottest part of the day. And it got dark, halfway out. So that was awesome. And then, oh, I totally lost my train of thought because I just got stoned. Anyway, I don't know where I was, but, oh, my tendon, yeah. And so it started hurting back then, and oh man, it was bad. I could climb uphill no problem, but anything else was brutal. And so now that it's all, wow, this is not a good part of the trail. Now that that's all fixed, I'm heading to Road 92, 90 something. I can't remember now. And I'm trying to get there at a decent time because with the tendon and everything, I had to slow down. And I'm behind my times that I want to be just by a little bit. I'm still ahead of the best I've ever done, but I want a little more leeway if possible. I need to sleep some more. I've only slept for like 20 minutes. We tried to sleep on the side of the trail, but I made the mistake of laying down in the shade because I was hot. And then I immediately got freezing cold and could not sleep. I put my puffy on, did all kinds of stuff to try and get warm. And I even moved into the sun some, but I maybe got 20 minutes. So pretty tired. This is the second night. I probably seriously am considering catching like 30 minutes here at Road 92, whatever, if they have a good setup and there's not a lot of people there. It has to be warm because it's dark out now, and I did not plan on sleeping during night at all because of how easily I get cold. But if they have a good setup, I'm pretty tired, and I would like 30 minutes more sleep. But if not, I'm going to push through Spencer, and I'm going to push to Lewis. I want to make Lewis by 10:30 in the morning. 11 at the latest, because I want to try and sleep there for an hour before I head out to Quartz Ridge and that horrible, horrible steep climb. But right now, aside from my first goal being cross the finish line, my second goal is to do that Quartz Ridge section in the daytime. I've never done it in the daytime. I've always had to do it at night, and it sucks at night. It's so easy to get lost. So I'm sorry, I keep dropping the phone because my arm is exhausted. So that's what I'm hoping for. So it's awesome. Adam's a little bit behind me. I had to head out of the aid station a little bit before him because I was freezing and he still needed to get water and stuff. And I really wanted to do this section as fast as I possibly could. And get warm up. So that's what I did. And, I'm not sure where Scott is. We left him, at Norway. He was getting his feet done and resting with his crew. And while we were sleeping on the trail, we expected him to kind of catch up and find us, but we never run back into him. We didn't see him at the Elk Pass aid station that I just left, and I didn't even think to check and see if he'd come in, but I am going to check when I come into Road 90, whatever, to see if he's ahead of me or if he's still behind me. I'm just curious, but whew, I'm going to quit rambling because my arm is exhausted and I can't hold the phone out any longer. All right, I'll check back in later. Oh, and how many miles in are we? My watch stopped working. We're almost 70 miles in. So from the section between Road 9327 and Spencer Butte, I had maybe 20 minutes of sleep, and we're over 48 hours in at this point almost, I believe. I know we're into at least the second night. And it's funny because I sent my husband a message through my inReach that I needed to sleep because people were starting to look like balloons. I didn't hallucinate a lot this year, which surprises me because out of all the years I've ever attempted this race, I literally got the least sleep ever this year. I tried to sleep. I could not sleep to save my life. It was so frustrating. The most sleep I got was at the Twin Sisters aid station, which is like it's got to be like mile 180 or close to that. I mean, it's the second to last aid station, so you're pretty far in at that point. And I probably got like 30 minutes of sleep there, because I got into that aid station and I got in line to have my feet done by the medic. Had a volunteer came over and asked me if I needed anything. I asked for a cup of Coke, and I sat down in one of the reclining chairs and got a couple blankets. I literally took 3 drinks off of that Coke, and then I fell asleep in that chair. And I woke up while the medic was working on my feet a little bit. So I didn't sleep the whole entire time, but I know I got probably at least 30 minutes of sleep at that aid station. It was funny because I woke up long enough to hear the medic have someone come over and take pictures of my blisters because they were so bad. She said I won for the worst blisters. I did have some pretty giant blisters on my feet by the time I was done. I had kind of gotten to the point where my feet and ankles and tendons and everything hurt so bad that I was just like, I'm just going to leave the tape that's on it, put more tape on it, and just kind of ignore it because they were in a bad way by the time I got to the end, to Twin Sister, let alone to the end. I still had, another aid station and then to the finish from there. But, oh man, my feet were rough this year, that's for sure. Thank goodness for the wonderful medics that work with strangers' feet. So anyways, as I was saying, I didn't have a whole lot of hallucinations this year. What I did have that I've never had before is I kept thinking I was hearing people talking behind me, asking to pass. And it's probably because I'm so paranoid about how slow I am. But yeah, so I kept like looking over my shoulder and I'm like, is there someone behind me? It was that happened the most. There was one time I did hallucinate between Road 93, 27 and Spencer Butte. I was going downhill through the woods, and I remember looking down at the base of this tree. There was off to the side of the trail just a little bit, there was what looked like two Mylar balloons just kind of floating around right at the base of the tree, just a little bit above ground, like somebody had tied them there. And I'm like, that's really weird. I'm like, I'm really far away from any of the aid stations. I'm like, why would anybody come out here and tie Mylar balloons to the ground out here? I'm like, I get that sometimes they float down and get caught in the trees and stuff, but they were like floating, and I'm like, I'm looking at them as I get closer, and all of a sudden they spoke, and it scared the crap out of me. I screamed, jumped. It was a whole thing. They laughed. So it was actually 2 runners who were just laying on the side of the trail up against a tree under a Mylar blanket. And to me, they looked like balloons. And they were like, oh, we're so sorry. And I'm like, no, thank you. I'm awake now. And so when I got into the aid station, I messaged my husband. I was like, I need to sleep. People are starting to look like balloons. But other than that, I didn't really see anything. I would see occasionally, I remember on the way, that never-ending road to Twin Sisters. Thank you for, managing such a quick reroute and it still was a great course. But holy cow, that road from Cispus to Twin Sisters, it never ended. It was literally the road that never ended. And I remember walking up it, and I would kind of look off to the side in the trees because it was dark. We did a lot of it in the dark. And I would see movement up in the trees, and I just was like, I'm gonna ignore that. I didn't see that. But other than that, I didn't see nearly as much as I saw the other 2 years when I tried this. That is a very, very interesting part of Bigfoot is when you go so long without sleep, you start to hallucinate. I never thought that was a real thing, but it's legit. It's a very interesting aspect of the 200s, that's for sure. Messes with your head a little. That's the moon there shining through the trees. It's full tonight, so that's super cool. Oh, my pulse fell. Oh, okay. We'll walk over and see if we can get a better view of it. Oh, If I can get a better view, I'll get it for you. Okay, we just left Spencer Butte. I don't know what mile that is. I'm too tired. I can't remember. We're going to Lewis though, Lewis River. It's only supposed to be like 7.8 miles away. No, it was not 7.2 or whatever. It was 9.8 according to my watch. So just remember, if you ever run the Bigfoot 200, always add bonus miles to every section. Every section, add bonus miles. At least 2.5 to 3 bonus miles. That way, if your watch doesn't match what it says in the manual, you will be prepared, because there were multiple times when my watch did not match with what the manual said, and I ended up running out of water, I ended up running out of nutrition, and it took me longer than I expected because I planned for X amount of miles, and then my watch, you know, I would get to those miles and the aid station wouldn't be there, and I'm like, oh God. And so it took me a bit longer to get to some of the aid stations than I had thought it was going to. So always remember, just to be safe, factor in bonus miles for every aid station. I swear you will not regret it. And I think that's like mile 100, or I'm not sure. It used to be. I'm pretty sleepy right now. I've only gotten 15 minutes of sleep in 48 hours. I tried to sleep at Spencer Butte, but there's too many people there, and they didn't have a mat or anything I can lay flat on, and I cannot sleep on my back. I have to sleep on my side. So it wasn't working, and I was not going to spend 30 minutes just laying there getting nothing accomplished. I have done that before. It was a waste of fucking time. So I got up, packed up my shit, and left. It's only 7 point whatever to Lewis, and they're an actual sleep station. They'll have tents, and it's going to be hot today, so there's probably not going to be very many people in those tents, because not very many people like to sleep in the heat, unlike me, who loves it. So I am looking forward to a nice hot sleep tent, and I can just take all the blankets and a flat cot and snuggle up, and depending on when I get in, probably going to give myself about 40 to 45 minutes, because I have a really big climb to Quartz Ridge after. And that's the aid station I have DNF'd at twice in a row. The last 2 times I tried this, I did not make cutoff. So I'm doing much better. It's almost 9. I left that aid station at 8:30. Their cutoff is 4 p.m. So I have quite a few hours of leeway between their cutoff and me leaving. So I couldn't be happier. My Lord Creator has blessed me something fierce. So I am super stoked. At a high point right now, if you couldn't tell. Sadly though, oh so sad, Scott DNF'd. I'm not sure what happened. I just got into the aid station and I asked the ham guys if they knew if 17 had come through. And they said they didn't think so, and then he came back over and told me he DNF'd. So I'm not sure if he DNF'd at Norway or when he tried to push through, but I'm bummed for him, and I kind of hope he's still around, because I'd like to see him one more time before he leaves, just to say bye. And you know, he was a super cool guy. That was the guy from Australia. He had some really pretty Rhodesian Ridgebacks he was showing us pictures of. And then Andrew, pretty sure his name's Andrew, the other guy I was walking with from Michigan, he has Mastiffs. You can clearly tell we were all talking about our dogs that we all miss. I left him at Elk Peak. He came in as I was getting ready to leave, and I remembered Elk Peak being a nice section that I could do pretty quick, and I felt really good when I left there. And so I was really cold too, and so I told him I'm just gonna head out and get warmed up, but man, I felt so good that I just kind of took off. So I hope I run into him again too. I hope he finishes, because he was a really nice guy to chat with, and they, you know, we all got each other through the first night and we were all lost, so thanks guys. But yeah, now we are on our way to Lewis River, and I gotta start paying attention, because at some point we have to dive off of this road and go down a super steep decline, and I brought this because I'm gonna sit on it and slide down it, because every freaking time, well, I've done it 2 other times, and every time I blow my IT bands going down it, it's so steep, and then my knees hurt so bad. Last time I did it, and I think it was 2021, I went into Lewis River in tears. My knees hurt so bad. So I am not going to have a repeat of that. I planned ahead and made that platter up so I could sit on it and slide down it. So you might get some video footage of that. It could be interesting. But I'm gonna let you go because my arm is killing me trying to hold this out. I've been using my arms a ton with my poles to take the pressure off my knees and the tendon in my right foot that's bugging me. But check back soon, probably when I slide down the hill. Thanks for coming along. Sadly, I didn't get to use the platter that I put in the Spencer Butte drop bag. There were a lot of questions about the platter, that's for sure. It was pretty funny when I got into Spencer Butte and I asked for my drop bag. The volunteer was like, "What's your number?" And I'm like, 127. And she's like, "You're the one with the platter." And I'm like, she's like, "We've been wondering what that's for." And so I explained to them, oh, hi, Harvey. Did you decide to join me? So anyways, this is Harvey. Say hi, Harvey. So anyways, so yeah, I put the platter in the drop bag because twice before I had attempted the 2 times before when I had attempted this, there was a very steep grassy section between Spencer Butte and Lewis River, and it was very, very steep, and every year it would blow my IT bands and it would make my knees hurt really bad. And so this year I decided I was going to put that platter in my drop bag so that I could sit on it and slide down that grassy hill. Well, come to find out, in the years between the last time I have done it, the course must have changed because we never came to that grassy hill. I carried that platter all the way to Lewis River and never got to use it. So that was kind of a bummer. I was actually looking forward to sitting on it and sliding down that grassy hill. Thought I was all clever for bringing it and everything. But it did get a lot of attention, that's for sure. I was hiking along and one of the other hikers just randomly is like, "How did the platter work?" It took me a second to realize what she was talking about, and I'm like, I didn't even get to use it. And so, yeah, it got a lot of attention, that's for sure. I was randomly hiking with someone else, and someone brought it up, and she's like, "You're the platter girl?" And I'm like, yep, I'm the platter girl. So that was funny, at least, but I was a little bummed that I didn't actually get to use the platter. And it was kind of funny carrying it from Spencer Butte all the way to Lewis River because I strapped it to my pack because I got tired of carrying it. And so I've got this platter bouncing on my pack as I'm running through this heavily used day area along Lewis River. And there's a whole bunch of people there just looking at me like I'm the weirdest person in the world running down the trail with this platter attached to my pack. Gotta do what you gotta do. I totally almost forgot, and it would have been sad. I just want to give a shout out to all the volunteers for Bigfoot this year. All of the volunteers have been amazing. Spencer Butte Aid Station, they were fabulous. They were on top of it. I didn't have to ask for anything. They were so good. The aid stations have been fabulous. The volunteers are amazing. Thank you. The guy who made my pancakes, oh my God, pancakes are so good. I've had pancakes twice now. Probably gonna have them again. They are super yummy. But yes, I just wanted to make a point to say that because this race couldn't be done without volunteers. When I'm not running it, I'm volunteering for it because it's loads of fun. But it is a lot of work and they don't get much sleep. So thank you, volunteers.
As the hours and miles stretched on, new friends soon formed a bond. And as they ran on and on, friends became a family. On and on, ran Amanda, Jesse, and Seca. On and on, ran Stephen and Tina, sharing stories and laughs and occasional